Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today, traders? Today is now Monday, April the 23rd. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and I really can't sleep today. I'm kind of excited. I was talking to my friend all night tonight, Mel, on Skype, and I think I've got a date. I think I've got a date in Thailand. Not only a date with her, hopefully, but I think I also have a date planned. I think we're gonna be planning for like May the 15th or something like that, May 23rd, around there at the latest. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to be working on location for at least 3 months. Probably going to we plan to spend like 1 month in Thailand, and then 1 month we're going to travel to my home country, Laos, and then we're going to travel to probably 1 month in Cambodia as well. Maybe I can even convince her to do another month in Vietnam. That'll be kind of cool. So I'm kind of like super pumped up tonight, and I can't sleep because it's kind of good news. I've been on Airbnb all night and just kind of looking at some awesome places to rent, and man, they're kind of expensive, but they're kind of cheap for what you get compared to here in Canada. So yeah, kind of pumped up. So you guys know how normally in like crypto people are selling a package? They're selling some sort of like, tutorial package, or they're selling some monthly subscription to try to monetize themselves in some way to actually get some sort of income from their followers. Well, you guys know me better than that. I don't do anything like that at all. But you guys know what? I am going to say, if you guys want to contribute to the Thailand vacation for Mel and I, you guys are welcome to donate to the cryptocurrency piggy bank, but minimum donation of $100 only, and it will be cut off after we reach $2,000. That's my target, okay? So definitely contribute to the Thailand cryptocurrency vacation that Philakone is going to take. That is how he's going to monetize himself. I think I've got the personality to do that. Not a lot of people would get away with that, but because I'm always so joking, I can get away with that. But you guys can take that as a joke if you want to, okay? I'm looking for my followers to actually fund my vacation, and that would be awesome if you guys can do that, okay? Despite, whatever income I may be making, whether it's a lot or a little in crypto, it doesn't really matter. The best part of taking a vacation is actually having it funded by other people, because I teach you guys amazing things, right? So, like this, I'm about to teach you guys the most amazing thing that you may have ever learned before in the history of your entire life. Like this knowledge that I pass on to you guys, whether it's real life or psychology or just anything at all, right? Like what I'm about to tell you will be mind blowing, okay? So, you guys remember this tip that I'm about to give you. Did you guys know that in every minute that passes by, 60 seconds also goes by? Right? It's tips like that I give to the public that should definitely be monetized in some way. Okay, anyways, if you guys love my content, you guys are welcome to upvote my content on Steemit. That would be awesome. So today we are actually going to take a look at IOTA, and then I'm going to hit the sack because I'm going to try to adjust my time for Thailand time very, very soon, because that's where I plan to go for a while. I'm actually so excited. Last year I was actually going to take a vacation like in, I think, like January or February, but it just didn't end up happening because my grandma passed away, right? So yeah, so that didn't really happen. I ended up staying here in the city instead with my folks, and just how it goes. So, and now all the family I have left in the world is, people are like, why don't you actually go work somewhere far away and just work on location more often? I'd love to do that, but I don't have any other family, right? It's only my parents, and they're getting a little bit old, so I'd like to stick around them. And yeah, I literally have no cousins. I have no uncles. Like, I do have cousins, but they're so distant that I just don't even see them as family. So I just would rather stay close to the only two family members that I have, right? So anyways, it's April 23rd, like I mentioned already. It's about 6:40 in the morning, and we're going to talk about IOTA. The reason we're talking about IOTA is because it's reaching some dangerously oversold zones, right? And I also tweeted this already, because I'm very confident about my decision to be calling the top very soon. And you guys know me, it's very serious business when I say this, all right? Whenever I say this, um, it's very serious whenever I say that if IOTA hits higher than $2.25 to $2.30 range, I'll let John McAfee eat my dick on live national television, okay? Whenever I make a tweet like that, it's actually very serious, okay? Yeah. So let's get into this, guys. Let's get into this right now. I'm going to do a very detailed Elliott wave count with you guys, actually. I'm actually feeling a lot better, not really under the weather so much anymore. So I think it's like the 12 hours of sleep that I've gotten for the past 3 days in a row, and just taking a bunch of nighttime pills as well. So let's talk about IOTA, guys. Okay, the reason why we're talking about IOTA is because I really do believe that we are near an Elliott wave count that's very much so near the top. Okay, so I'm actually going to count it. I'm just referencing my chart here that I have. I'm going to call this my wave 1, 2, 3, 4 right there, and that's going to be my fifth wave. We're going to call this the submillennium scale right there, okay? So that's the official count that I have right in here thus far. Now let's do, I'm just referencing my other chart here so I can actually remember it as well, okay? So now I'm going to draw the sub waves as well, just to make sure it's very clear to people where these sub waves actually lie, okay? This one always try to draw your bigger time frames like on the top, right? So you wanna keep those guys at the top over there, just to be very clear. So if this is 4 right here, you want to keep the 5 on the higher one, and choose a degree that's actually smaller. Okay, it's actually smaller like on the minor. Actually, let's go to my I don't like that one. Intermediary, sure. Let's go to this one right there. Okay. So now what we're seeing is if this is waves 1, 2, 3, um, yeah, 3. No, I don't like that either. Let's go to a different one. Super scale. Let's just draw this in a really big one, I guess, to make it very visible. There we go. Okay, this will be very much more visible, right, guys? Way more visible. There we go. So then I'm going to call this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Simple as that. Maybe I can actually do it like this, just to show the waves in there. Yeah, I'll change it up. This looks a little bit nicer, right? Way nicer. There you go. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this one right here, the fifth one was right over here, right? Makes sense? And then in here, we get the subwaves, which I should probably make a lot smaller. It just doesn't really look that presentable. There we go. So then we have subwaves 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. Okay, that makes sense, right? The fourth one's in there. And we have the fifth one right up here as well, okay? Makes entire sense to me. Geez, I'm getting kind of OCD right now. I know, I'm sure that you guys notice that about me sometimes, right? Where I've got some massive OCD tendencies. Yeah, so I'm gonna definitely be stacking my ladders soon. I don't think it's gonna get higher than 225, to be honest. It might even be the top, very top right now, just according to an Elliott wave count. Then if I actually count this further, I count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 already, right? It's really hard to see this any other way right now, other than 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I were to actually break it down even further, you can see the 5 waves in here already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. It makes a lot of sense, right? So I'm going to go to minuet scale for this one here, and really hard to argue with this count right now, right? I'm just gonna post this on my Steemit very quickly. You guys know the drill, so I don't have to spend a lot of time, like hours. If I don't do it in the middle of these videos, I actually gotta do the charts all over again, which takes about, another 30 minutes or so. So it's it just takes about 2 minutes in the video, like altogether from beginning to end, which makes it a lot easier in my opinion. So yeah, there you go. So once again, let's go over the Elliott wave count, right? I want to show you guys it on a very detailed time frame. And I want to give you guys like a clear-cut example of how Elliott waves are actually seen, okay? Let's go to minor for this one here. So for every wave up, every impulse wave up, we actually get 5 waves like this, okay? We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we're trying to look for. On the third subwave as well, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that, okay? And then on the last wave as well, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And on these particular waves, we try to look for some sort of ABC combination like that. I hope that makes sense as well, which we do see it on pretty much every single time frame. And then here as well, what we see is A, B, C like that as well, okay? Just like that, A, B, and C. Makes sense, right? So we get 5 waves going up, 3 coming down, 5 going up, and this is just a variation. Sometimes they can come in many different shapes and forms. It doesn't always have to go like that, but this is the general Elliott wave theory that I'm referring to. It can be kind of a complicated theory, but if you guys go to my page, right, on Steemit here, what you'll actually see is tons of tutorials on them. For example, Introduction to Elliott Wave Theory. If you go to my Steemit there, you'll see tons of it, right? Lesson 19, Elliott Wave Theory, even more advanced Elliott wave theory. And we're not talking about like 10-minute videos, guys. Like, we are not talking about simple videos. We are talking about full blown, just as an example, like here's 27 minutes, right? Here's more Elliott wave theory videos here, like 30, 40 minutes long. They're super long and very detailed videos as well. Like here's lesson 19, it's an hour long. I think the introduction one is 13 right here. It's about 40 minutes. Yeah, about 40
Hi
minutes long.
guys.
So you guys can get a lot of detail in these particular videos. Now, what we're going to try to do is break it down, okay? We're going to try to break down this Elliott wave in high detail according to a micro time frame, okay? So right now, if we go to a micro time frame, what we're going to try to do is break it down even further to see if we actually have 5 waves, right? So if we look at this one right here, that actually just formed, guys, right? We see waves 1 right here. We see waves 2 right here as well. We see waves 3 actually form already. Take a look, okay? 3 has officially formed. 4 made the bullish flag. Now, the last one is this structure right here that we got to take a look at, right? And what we actually see is 5 waves pretty much forming. 1, 2, oh, I don't want that one there. Okay, so we see 5 waves like this. 1, 2, pretty much 3, you can say 4 and 5, right? Let's go to an even more micro time frame to see what this looks like, okay? And wow, it's actually beautiful. It is so freaking beautiful right now. Let's clear all this out, okay? Let's clear all this out, and we're gonna do this in a very micro time frame. What we were looking for is 5 waves going up like that, okay? Just to be very clear. 5 waves simply going up like that. Let's call this in the minor, okay? And what we're seeing, like, take a look at this, guys. Like, take a look at the accuracy of these particular waves that are being drawn. Not my accuracy, but the accuracy of how well it's been forming thus far. Okay, let's even go to a 5-minute time frame, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It looks beautiful in my personal opinion, right here. Okay, on a 5-minute time frame, you could not have asked for anything better. Definitely not. This one kind of made a leading first wave diagonal right here, right? A leading first wave diagonal, where sometimes the first wave is a little bit longer than the first wave, or the fifth wave rather. So what we can easily say for even this one, if I were to break it down in super high detail, okay? Kind of like a double top. This is the one that it made right here. Okay, we're gonna just call it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a leading first wave diagonal. And you guys know my accuracy when it comes to Elliott wave. So that's why I'm very excited to actually do this video here. When we break it down like in very micro detail, the accuracy can be very, very high, right? And the leading diagonal ends up breaking down, of course. It retraces to a very decent position here. They actually retrace to what here? This one retraced to pretty much the golden ratio zone, right? Beautiful retracement to the golden ratio around right there, which I'm just going to make note for you guys because I think it should be always respected, right? Whenever we see things like this, we see a beautiful 0.618 golden ratio retracement of fib. I don't know why I wrote retracement of fib there when I can just write fib retracement. Okay, and then when we look into this one further, we see 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5 going up there, just like that. Okay, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that, right? Really hard to argue against that right there. Yeah, Definitely hard, I'd say. Now what we're looking for is actually 5 waves for this one right there. It doesn't look like it has formed it yet, so this is why I'm saying that for the very final one, it could actually do just a small retracement. And keep in mind, this is on a very micro time frame that we're looking at, right? So we'd see that this one here hit possible or hit a one-to-one extension. Therefore, this one couldn't really get much higher than this, I would say. And I'm going to be generous, guys. I'm going to be super generous, and I'm going to actually say that it can get a tiny bit higher than that. Whoa, what just happened? No, I hope I didn't lose everything. Okay, I'm going to be very generous and say 225 max. 225 max, okay? That's what I'm going to say. But realistically, about 220, I'd say. Yeah, 220, I'd say, is about kind of the highest it can get right now. It's I just honestly cannot see it getting higher than that, guys, based on Elliott wave theory. This is kind of as ideal as it gets for these types of situations. This one could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and bam, this one right there, around this range. No, 225 max, 220 very likely. Okay, 220 very likely, 225 unlikely but possible, which we'll write that in there. 225 unlikely but possible. Okay, that needs to be very much so understood, that there's always a probability of it getting to some sort of extended zones, but I really do believe that that is going to be the absolute highest because we're missing one final subwave. Okay, missing one final subwave to complete the 5th wave formation. And I think after it finishes, it's going to be pretty much go time for the bears, and the profits are going to be taken. Despite Bitcoin rallying, we have to understand that some coins are incredibly oversold, or sorry, overbought already. And because they're overbought, I'm just going to tweet this as well, that sometimes just because Bitcoin rallies doesn't mean it's going to rally with it, right? Detailed, I'm just writing here. I don't want to censor you guys. Yeah, I'm pretty confident about this right here. Actually, I wanna actually annotate a little bit more before I present that chart. So this one here, we can automatically expect a more bullish retracement, right? We can expect a more bullish retracement. There we go. Perfect, right? This one, much more bullish retracement. I'll just make note of for the public here. 0.5, much more bullish retracement. Lower retracement expected, or sorry, less retracement expected, since wave 1 retrace further and we assume a bullish market. So this one kind of nailed it right there, right? Completely nailed it, I would say. Let's take out some of these fib levels so we don't clutter the screen. Whenever you guys are doing your charts, always double click on the lines after. This way you can actually take a look at it, okay? And you can easily see what is respectable for your retracement, and just keep that on the screen to make it look presentable, right? Because keep in mind that presentation is always key for anything that you do when it comes to Elliott wave. So yeah, this is why I see these final counts up here. So aside from that right now, we're going to take a look at some of the indicators as well. We're seeing it reaching fairly dangerously oversold regions, right? Definitely oversold regions, and this is only the first subwave, keep in mind. Okay, like I know that it has a chance to get to really high regions right now, but we have to also understand that yeah, this actually got to really high regions, but this one here at the initial count, it counted 5 waves, right? But here as well, we're also counting 5 waves, so it's very unlikely for it to get to that. Even if you went through like a TD sequential count for it as well, you know, the 1 to 9 count, which I'm not going to do, but you know, it's getting there, guys. It really is getting there to completely overbought regions as well right now. And let's just analyze the daily chart, okay? Let's just analyze the daily chart from a micro level where we're drawing parabolic lines like this, okay? We're just connecting lines like that. What do you guys notice about these lines that I'm drawing right now? Hmm? If you guys notice how it's arching, right? We got to really, really break well above that in order for me to be convinced that it's going to reach some sort of bullish zone, right? So if I just keep drawing these arch lines like that, we can kind of see how it could possibly form just by extrapolating some data, right? You guys see what I mean? It seems like it's almost as at its peak. Is this an actual possibility? Okay, is this a possibility? Like we just end up down ticking like that, right? Is that a possibility for the RSI? I'll make this RSI like orange, okay? Is that a possibility for RSI? I'll rhetorically ask in my chart. Extrapolating the one daily chart, extrapolating the daily RSI. Whew, just got chills all of a sudden. Is it possible the RSI can form something like this, where where the arc ends up bearishly diverging? I think that's definitely possible, right? So that's just how I'm seeing it right there. Sorry for scratching my nose there. Everybody scratches their nose sometimes, I think. So yeah, I definitely see this as a contender, right? Now, I once again I am giving you guys the bullish scenario where we could actually end up trending a little bit higher, but in my opinion as well, that it just seems like it's not as likely for it to get that much higher right now because all the counts are actually in already. So even on a lot of different time frames right now, it looks like it's ready, guys. It just really looks like it's ready to come down. So I know we don't have any signs of bearish divergence yet, right? On the daily at least. But if we look at the bearish divergence, oh sorry, I got a message Val. She's probably mad at me for not talking to her. I don't like to leave people hanging. It's very rude sometimes. So what we're seeing right now is yes, this is getting a higher high, but if we actually compare it overall, okay, if we compare it overall for trend wise, what we do see is we see bearish divergence across the board since the 12th, right on the 4-hour chart, just as an example, right? We're seeing bearish divergence there, and we're almost seeing this as pretty much a double kind of top, right? So we see this as I'm just going to draw it right here. Okay, we see bearish divergence on this end, and for this end right here, we see this hitting a very peak RSI, right? This implies a very bearish type of divergence, right? I'm just going to make it lower so you guys can see it as well here. I think my dog's up. I got to go let her outside soon. She gets up around this time at 7 in the morning. Okay, so this is seen as bearish divergence from April 12 to today's date. We can get a higher high on the RSI, okay? So hopefully this makes a lot of sense as well, right? This one right here that I'm referring to. Also, this is more of a rhetorical question, right? Are we double topping? Are we double topping this RSI? Interesting questions to be asking right now. So we're more so anticipating where the top is much earlier than I should be, but this is more so just, there's a lot of information that's foreshadowing a top right now, right? And it's definitely giving a lot of hints, and a lot of people are actually confirmation players, and confirmation players they wait for things to actually happen before they wait to enter a trade before it actually happens, right? They wait for bearish divergence and confirmation of a bearish trend before entering a trade. But sometimes you want to try to catch the top because it can be more profitable, especially when the stars are much more so aligning. So let's see how this is going to end up right now, okay? So this is how I'm personally seeing it, where it just looks like it's very overly extended and it looks like it's almost ready to come down, right? We see the MACD range right here, just hyperly extended, and we got to ask ourselves, how much longer can it stay in this possible region of being oversold, or sorry, overbought? How much longer How much longer can the MACD range in this range? That's a really good question to be asking, right? We take a look at the histogram as well right here, right? We take a look at the histogram and we don't really see it getting that high so far. Histogram is looking very weak, okay? Is looking very weak. So I do anticipate that it could get higher, but I can't honestly see it getting higher than like realistically 225, 230 at the absolute highest, okay? But 220 is more so my target range to start entering my short positions and to start laddering. So I'm definitely going to be interested in this for a decent swing position. I think it's going to be a very good opportunity, to be quite honest. Okay, not only that, what we're seeing on, let's look at the 3 hour chart as well, right? We're seeing bearish divergence all across the board, right? We're seeing this massive trend right here. We're seeing this as a resistance, right? This is looking like a very weak RSI as well, or sorry, histogram as well, where it's ticking upwards. We don't really have any type of bearish confirmation yet, other than losing strength. 3 hours losing strength on RSI. Okay, 3 hour chart losing strength on the RSI. Series of lower highs since April 20th. Okay, so this is something to always make note of as well, that when we start to see these bearish divergences, it could definitely signal to the market soon that people are going to take profit. You guys also have to understand as well that people have been riding, they've been riding IOTA all the way since like April the 10th or something, right? That's a lot of profit to be taken soon. We're talking about a ride of over 125% right now. If we take a look at IOTA right now, it's trending very high. It's number 9 right now. It actually overtook NEO, so that's really, really good. We look at historical data, right? It was at 94 million yesterday, right? The day before it was at 80. The day before it was at 95. Now it's at 80. So we're almost anticipating the very top of it very soon, in my personal opinion. I think that it might have a little bit of a ways to go, like in terms of just a few cents, right? 25 or something like that. But yeah, like not that much higher, guys. Like I really cannot see it getting higher than 225 at most or something like that. But I should probably be clear about that in my notes, right? Oh, I did write that. 225 unlikely, but possible. So other than that, we just keep going down the charts, right? We just keep going down the charts, but it's kind of the Elliott wave that's giving it away right now. And I did show very clearly that we have one final wave that's actually missing right now as well. So just looking at let's just see how much is gonna go. So we had these tweezer top candles. Okay, these tweezer top candles were actually very indicative that the bulls were actually starting to lose their steam. But the only reason it's going up a little bit more is because, guys, take a look at it very closely, right? We still got one more wave to go. If you guys take a look at the Elliott wave one more time, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's still another wave to go to around the 20-ish range, but not really that much higher, guys. Like really not that much higher at all. We look at on a very micro time frame, we should see the 1 minute RSI just I was going to say ranging in the middle there. The 3 minute RSI is not that high. This one just looks like it's ready to break down to make some sort of ascending triangle, right? You guys can see this right here. Hopefully it'll just make some sort of ascending triangle like that. That'll be a pretty good signal as well that it's going to do one more final wave up. So I just want to give you guys my quick technical analysis. Was it quick actually? How long was it? Oh, 29 minutes. Holy crap, that was actually much longer than I thought. So yeah, guys, I don't see this getting much higher than 225, honestly. If it does, I'll be honestly very, very, very surprised if it does, okay? So that's my bearish count as well right now. So if this actually does get to a correction target of where I think it will get up to, let's just say we even go to 30, okay? Worst case scenario, this goes to 30. Let's just get in some scenarios here where if Bitcoin does even end up correcting a little bit, well, I firmly believe that a target range will most likely be this one right here first, around there. Always assume a very bullish trend because of this market that we're in. First of all, assume bullish retracement of only between assume bullish retracement between 180 and 177 first. Okay. If that does not hold, we'll see the lower range right here. I want to make this actually small and long. There you go. Then the next range will actually be much more, which will be between there. This one will be between 170 and 151. Next support range between 171 to 151, something like that. Okay, 170 to 151. I gotta get going right away. My dog is waking up right now. So yeah, so that's kind of where I think it could possibly trend to. That's worst case scenario as well, but we're going to assume a bullish retracement there. So, and always keep in mind that like we could get up to about 225 range. 225 range could be a very viable target. The bearish scenario, bullish 225 is possible once again. Though 220 seems to be target. Okay. That's my opinion only. Got to keep this in mind, right? This is only my opinion. So yeah. So that's kind of it, guys. I appreciate you guys watching my videos always. Thank you very much for the love and the support that you guys have given me thus far. If you guys love the content that I'm producing, you guys are welcome to upvote the material on Steemit. If you guys absolutely love the content that I'm producing, you guys are always welcome to fund my vacation as well. I say that jokingly, but I'm also not joking at the same time. It's kind of like a lunch or a dinner, right? Everybody loves it whenever people pay for their lunch or their dinner or their coffee or something like that. I've always wondered how it felt for someone else to pay for your vacation as well. Don't worry, I'm not going to say this every single video. This is probably going to be the only videos or one of the only videos I actually joke about it in. So have yourselves a great day, guys, and thank you very much for watching my video. Bye now.